Jimmy says this, Porky's Brendan Rodgers impression sounds like a drunk Noel Edmonds.
Drunk Noel Edmonds.
And Celtic Rock and Roll
Noel
says...
Edmonds? Oh,
right.
Amazing.
Now, let me read you this from Jay.
Okay.
In Brighton.
Yes.
It says Brighton, but I think he means Brighton. Whitehawk is an estate in Brighton in Sussex. It's where the Christmas advert was filmed for John Lewis, the man on the moon with the telescope. Did you know that?
No, I think that's an awful advert as well.
I don't like it.
Sorry to have to say that, but I just don't know the whole concept of it at all. I really don't.
Well, the concept of it is that, you know, it's the time of the year to be nice to everyone, basically.
Yeah, but this guy, even when he gets his balloon with his present, is still stranded and alone on the moon, isn't he? His present.
Yeah, what did you say before that?
His balloon.
His balloon?
Yeah.
Why can't you say balloon?
Because it's a balloon.
You don't pronounce the first syllable, though.
Why didn't you just stop trying to be...
because people ask me about it.
A monitor of my language.
Because people ask me, why can't he say words properly? He was supposed to be a communicator. He was supposed to be a man that knows everything about the English language.
That's rubbish, honestly. It's a dross, it really is.
I've never been to a Chinese restaurant. I don't know if I like the food.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was ordinary food.
What do you mean ordinary food?
Well, I didn't realise that you could have beef or you could have
What do you think it was?
chicken. I thought it was like dragon or something like... No, seriously. I thought it was like... No, I thought it was very...
I'll have some of that dragon chow mein.
No, I'm serious. I thought it was like,
Cut the wings off.
really sort of like foreign food, which I wasn't aware of. I'd never travelled anywhere. I'd never been to China or anything
But
like
they
that.
don't have Chinese takeaways in Chester.
Yeah, but I'd never been to one because for the same reason. I didn't know what Chinese food
Well,
looked
you
like.
just look at a menu. You've said all that before.
Well, that proves that it's real.
But we've already said that Downing Street and other security sort of sensitive areas have already worked out how to deal with it. They're going to have ways of they're going to have ways of shooting them down if necessary. They're going to have no-fly zones for drones.
Well, I'll tell you what.
There's no reason for you to do anything.
I tell you what, they're going to have very efficient radar scanners.
Well, they will have
millions of them.
They will have.
They're going to have very efficient armaments. Like every building will have to have a gun on top.
Well, maybe they already have.
And to shoot these things down would be a full-time job. Because if you think about it, I don't know
why you're so obsessed with this.
There are something like 8,000 aeroplanes pass in and out or over the Heathrow, area every day, right? And they all have to be tracked one by one. If the drone gets going, that could multiply by 10. There could be 80,000 drones flying. What are you laughing at? Flying over London at the same time.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll all get hit by a meteor and die a horrible death.
Well, funny you should say that. I was reading a book over the weekend which predicts that within the next 20 years, a meteor is going to hit the Earth and wipe us out.
Who
No,
wrote
I'm
that?
serious.
Who's written that?
I'm serious.
Who's written that?
The book is called, hang on, because I wrote it down here, because I've read it right. Hey?
Doomsday.
It's called Magicians of the Gods. I don't know what you're laughing at.
And it sounds like a right riveting tone.
It's written by Graham Hancock.
Oh, yeah. Is it a novel?
But no, it's published by Coronet, and it says here...
Well, you say Coronet like it's some kind of Simon & Schuster offshoot.
Is a comet about to destroy Earth?
Is that a question?
Within the next 20 years, Earth faces a catastrophe 1,000 times worse than the detonation of every nuclear weapon on the planet.
Really?
It'll be a collision with the remnants.
You won't be worried about whether you get your hands on any diesel then, will you?
It'll be a collision with the remnants of a comet big enough to end all life as we know it.
Render all life as we know it what?
It'll wipe out all life as we know it.
Oh well. Something to look forward to then.
Be dinosauric.
Yeah, dinosauric. A catastrophe coming. Beware. This is talkSPORT.
Yeah, it was one of these exhibitions that the audience participate in. What's that called?
Eh?
What's it called?
What, an audience with?
No. It's it counters something or whatever.
What?
What happens when you're sitting in the audience and they ask you to participate? It's called audience
participation.
Participation. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
It's
a psychological lesson we all should learn.
Yeah.
You've
never had to put up with that sort of.
Well, you wouldn't have to put up with it, you fat-faced oaf.
Well, we're going to talk to Shaka Hislop.
You need to get an education.
Who's played for Newcastle, and he'll be able to tell us exactly why Joe Shelby going there is a good idea. This is
Good.
For a very, very long time.
What?
You made an admission on their show. That wasn't it?
No,
you made an admission on their show.
I can play the guitar.
Well, we'll see if we can find it.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get this admission.
I don't think we are.
I think you've gerrymandered it, and you've gerrymandered yourself out of existence.
Well, no, I think...
I'm delighted to say.
Next game up is Bournemouth-Everton.
Bournemouth-Everton.
Lukaku, I'm told, is going to be back in training today.
Yep.
After that terrible injury he suffered when he was trying to fake scoring that goal the weekend before.
No, well, you mean the stretch injury?
Yeah.
Lukaku. Right, I say Everton are going to win this game and restore their winning streak after getting very surprisingly beaten by Norwich at Goodison.
Yes.
Well done, Norwich, and you deserved it, but it was a disappointment. And I'm going to say Bournemouth 1, Everton 3.
Yeah, I can't see Everton losing this game. I'm going to say they're not going to let a goal in either, and I'm going to say, because I think Koeman's got them quite well organised.
Koeman. Yeah.
I don't know whether you want to hear this, but it's a very long text that's been sent in by Marvin, which is the sort of a summation of this show.
Yes.
Do you want to hear it?
Well, I mean, is it complimentary?
Well, I don't know. I haven't finished reading it yet.
Well, read it.
I don't think it's nasty.
Right, go on.
The Two Mics, definitely the most infectious show on radio. Belly laughed already twice within 10 minutes of the start. P.S. From your voices alone, I've imagined you as teachers. Mr. Graham sounds like a maths teacher, strict but approachable. Does have a laugh or two in him. A stickler for homework being done, as long as you've made an effort. Has a line that if you cross, you'll be in trouble, but generally the kids enjoy his lessons.
Right.
Mr. Parry's a physics teacher, seriously strict. Get caught whispering in class, and he'll soon be shouting in your face to behave, or lobbing a piece of chalk at your head across the classroom. Detention or line straight away if he doesn't like the look of your homework.
Really?
Tries to control lessons by Sergeant Major tactics. Kids can't wait to get out of his lessons.
Yes.
Kids resort to copying home and classwork for fear of his wrath, leaving them not taking much in about physics. His type of teaching can be plankish at times.
What a load of rambling nonsense.
I think that's quite interesting.
One custard.
No, it wasn't custard, no. It was, funny enough, it was a dish. I can't remember the name of it. But it was like a creme brulee, almost.
No, it's custard.
Well, Emma wanted a dessert.
No, you had the custard.
No, I didn't. She wanted a dessert.
You fat... Oh.
What? My fat what?
No, you fatso.
Why are you being so deleterious about my eating habits?
You had the custard.
I took my daughter for dinner.
You had the custard.
I did not have the custard.
I bet you did.
I had a taste of it.
I think it's disgraceful you're trying to blame your daughter for eating a custard, which you clearly wolfed down your fat throat yourself.
No, it was crema catalana, actually, it was called.
It says custard on here.
Yeah, well, it might say custard, but, it's a Spanish restaurant. They don't just give you custard. It's like a creme brulee, so what happens is they blow torch the top of it, so it's got a very crisp top. It's effective.
Philosophers talk complete garbage, and that's why they're philosophers.
Stop, because it's time for the news. No, it's not time for the news.
No, of course it's not time for the news.
Why do you stop again?
I don't know, because you're flapping your arms around and you can't read the clock and all sorts of things. And Dr. Kieran Moriarty, that's a name, isn't it? Wasn't Moriarty Sherlock Holmes?
That's Moriarty, isn't it?
It's Moriarty, that's right, yeah. Dr. Kieran Moriarty, spokesman on alcohol for the British Society for...
And sworn enemy of Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, that's absolutely right. And he's from the British Society for Gastroenterology.
Is he?
Sounds a bit complicated.
Not really.
He said 1 unit a day or less than 1 unit a day is associated with an increased risk and cancer that is seen as the most sensitive, including things like breast cancer.
Rubbish.
Alcohol is associated with the cancers elsewhere. Well, I mean, these health scares, they really do my head in.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually been pickpocketed, like as I've been walking along and not realising.
I think anybody who gets pickpocketed must be a bit simple.
Why?
Well, because, if I'm in a crowd or something, then I deliberately hold my coat together so that nobody can get their hands in my inside pockets.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're in a big crowd of people and suddenly somebody bumps into you, you might not be aware of it.
Well, I am aware. I'm aware of these things. Maybe. I
think you should have. I said you were being compassionate in the first hour. I'll take it all back now.
No.
Incredible. Anyway, you were going to tell me about that piece of music.
Right, that piece of music. Right, there's a report I spotted over the weekend. Even though we were away in Scotland, I still applied myself to my reading material,
of course,
which comes through my letterbox.
You had plenty of time to read when you went home early on Saturday night.
I didn't go home early. I went home at about 1 o'clock. That's a very respectable time.
Well, that's very early for the garage.
From a nightclub. Well, it might be, but I mean, God knows what you got up to between 1 o'clock and 4:30, and you eventually staggered in.
Well, what else would I get up to other than just enjoy myself?
Well, I'm not going to ask, because nefarious practices have been, they have blighted your life at some
Why don't you just get on with whatever? You've got 2 minutes
of your existence.
You've got 2 minutes to tell me about
Anyway, what happened?
Unbelievable. Now, here's one from Simon. He says, I'm thinking of writing the Spice Girls a new song for their impending tour. Any tips on lyrics?
Well, the Spice Girls song, well, it would have to be, bearing in mind that Posh is not there, the lyrics can't be very posh, can they? So it's just the four of them. So it would be old Ginger, Sporty, Scary and Baby.
Yeah.
So if that was Ginger, Sporty, Scary, Baby, that's GSSB. I'd write a song, something like, GSSSB.
Yeah.
GSSSB. There is G.
What, like DISCO?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's a complete rip-off.
There is G for Ginger, there is S for Scary, there is S for Sporty, there is beef, for baby we aspire. I see. How about that?
Yeah, well, that's off the cuff, good. I suppose that's not bad.
Yeah. P
no, is it?
With the Beatles, and what they've done is
Is it black vinyl?
It's black vinyl, right. and the two hands move round. There's no numbers on it, anything like that. Your imagination tells you what time it is.
And the hands are white.
The hands, I think, are gold.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're gold. Yeah.
Gold
against the black vinyl, and they look very.
Sounds a bit gauche, that.
Very impressive. But anyway, that's the sort of thing. We'll never get away from that era of music. You see, never. In 100 years' time, people will still be talking about that era because it was unsurpassed. Nothing will replace it.
In 100 years' time, it will be, I suppose, what? What year will it be in 100 years' time?
2116.
2116. We won't be here.
In the year 2525. If man is still alive.
Have you seen the time?
If woman can survive. Which group made that?
I don't know. Can you imagine what the time is now? Because it's getting very, very late.
Yeah, well, go on with it. Go on.
This is talkSPORT. How about this? Doesn't have a name, unfortunately. How on earth does Mike Parry get the pronunciation of so many words wrong in the English language? No less. The list is endless. Succumbed for succumbed. Genre for genre are just two of about 100 I've heard him mispronounce. If it was coming through the mouth of an 8-year-old, then it could be understandable. But not from an old-age pensioner who reportedly worked in newspapers. Nothing short of ridiculous.
I don't have to take
That's outrageous, isn't it?
I've got better things to do.
He basically says that your moaning and groaning is absolutely hilarious.
Would you like to read it factually instead of giving your opinion on it? Where does he say moaning and groaning?
So I read it in Porky Parry style. The indignation and sense of outrage among Everton fans over their League Cup semi-final injustice is quite hilarious.
Yeah, sorry, what's that?
Do you like that?
No, that was ridiculous.
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah,
read things out in a shouty way.
But are the words moaning and groaning?
Here we go. We even had this morning Toffees supporting radio loudmouth Mike Parry.
That's a bit harsh.
Suggesting Raheem Sterling had a moral duty to tell the referee that the ball was over the line before he crossed for Kevin De Bruyne to score the goal that levelled the aggregate score.
I'm going to give you a hero and a villain, okay?
Go on then.
And they're going to complement each other.
Okay.
Right, the hero, Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston,
because he was with Idris Elba last week, right, and the debate was who's going to be the next James Bond. 2 days later, Tom Hiddleston is on the front of a massively big-selling newspaper. With Taylor Swift, who is the world's most famous singer. And
she's not the world's most famous singer.
Hang on. John F. Kennedy or something, and then you see it coming down, and then as it went down, I remember so well the
always remember that kind of speck in the sky.
Yeah, speck in the sky, and it comes down, parachutes and all that, and then when you heard the American commentators say, "And we have splashdown,"
was it a NASA word? Did NASA invent that
NASA
word?
invented the word splashdown, and I thought it was the most beautiful.
Well, yeah, but you can't really use that in any other context, can you?
Well, I don't care. It's the word I love because do you know what it represents to me?
What?
It represents to me the dynamism, the bravery, the magnificence of everything America have contributed to the world in the last 200 years.
Okay.
They've led the way, and the space race was another area of life.
Can you use it in a sentence that's not about NASA?
Well, I do.
Give us an example.
All right. I often say things like, it was a tough old job, that one, going out there to France or whatever, but, when Splashdown happened, it was worth it. You know what I mean?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it makes sense to people who know what I'm talking about.
Really?
Saying is that there could be another probe heading for Venus, right?
Really?
And Venus was her name. She's got it.
I don't think that's the Venus they're going to.
No, but what I'm saying is, we only knew about this because it calls back today and says,
this is the
robot. Okay, guys, I've fired my retros and I've arrived in the atmosphere around which planet was it? Jupiter. That's right. Yeah. So there could well be another one. What is your problem?
Because
why can't you
kind of characterisation of this probe?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
What is he from the 70s?
No. He would have been programmed.
By retro probes, guys.
It will have been programmed. All I'm saying is there could be one now heading to God knows where. In fact, there is one, isn't there? That was just fired off the
God knows where.
Yeah, and just heading out. I mean, and just keep going out.
So, Peter says this, Porky, I'm recently single and I'm now supermarket shopping on my own. From looking in other people's baskets, there seems to be an awful lot of other singles. I reckon this could be a Rogerisation rich zone. Any tips so that I can get some horizontal refreshment victims from the supermarket area?
Well, there's a bit of racing language there, which I think we have to clean up. This is a family show. But I totally agree with you.
That reminds me, we got a card from Finn. I'm not done with it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I totally agree with you. It is a very rich area for what I would call woman harvesting, if you know what I mean, And I say that because the best way to attract the attention of a woman in a supermarket aisle is to appear to be the dumb male.
Yeah.
You know, things like,
well, for some people that's easier than others.
Of course it is, yeah. Oh, you don't know where the tuna fish is, do you? I can't seem to find, and you know, things like I can't find, you know, the Cadbury Smash.
Can't find the lingerie section.
No, you're not the lingerie section. You're in a supermarket. I can't find the Smash, or I can't find. I can't find the Kippers, you know, or something like that. And you will find that, you know, that's a good way of a woman giving you some indication of whether she's interested or not. And then, of course, there's always the favourite one, which is one of mine, and this has succeeded many times, offering to carry her bags back to the car after the checkout. It works a treat.
Right, but then you've got to loiter around the till, haven't you, in order to get...
Well, you've got to time it properly, that's all. Time it properly, yeah. Momentum.
Should you answer this with a bit more brevity? Anthony says, I cannot believe the ignorance of Parry. Eminem is a rapper. It is not a niche market. If you have no idea, don't comment.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I do have an idea, and I also have an opinion. If I want to say that I think rapping is the most rubbish form of music I've heard since jazz, then I will say that, okay?
Here's one from Anonymous. Is Porky mad? Rap music alone counts for $1.5 billion every year in America alone.
Yeah, okay.
And Ian says...
So does the cocaine industry in Venezuela. Sorry, next one.
What?
So does the cocaine industry in Venezuela.
Well, that tells you it's quite popular then.
Yeah, well, of course it's popular.
Well, you said it was a niche market.
Yeah, but hang on.
You wouldn't describe cocaine as a niche market, would you?
Well, it's of no value to the human race, that's all I'm saying,
but it's not a niche market.
It's of no value to the human race.
Leslie says, I'm 57 and love rap music.
Are you? 57, you love rap music? Oh, get a life.
Question number 5.
Yes.
During the post-graduation party, Iceman, Slider, Hollywood, Wolfman and Maverick are assigned to which carrier?
USS Enterprise.
Correct.
Hey! Woo, woo, woo! Oh, yes!
You suddenly don't sound very ill.
Yes, what?
You suddenly don't sound very ill.
It's a fantastic boost to the system, isn't it? Success, you know what I mean? Does a world of good for you.
So you're actually fine. I'm sorry to say you put the Porky Jinx on Maria Sharapova, who's now 4-3 down in the first set.
Yeah.
So your Porky Jinx now works as far away as Melbourne.
Oh my God.
Now, coming up, Rachel's asking me for a shout out. It's her birthday. She says she's a Villa fan and could do with cheering up. Okay. Well, you're not happy today, Rachel. I don't know when you will be though. You got the first win.
What's Rachel's name?
Rachel.
Yes, I know, you idiot. But I mean, what else? What's her Twitter handle or whatever?
Well, her Twitter handle is Rachel.
Okay, well, Rachel, this is the old Portmeister here. I want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. What's your problem?
Well, who else would you be?
Well, you know, I don't want her to know. She might want to record this and put it on her phone and then go around...
Yeah, well, don't wait for the podcast, will you?
And play it out to everybody tomorrow and say, look, you know, I've had a happy birthday wish from, you know, old Portmeister. You know what I mean?
The paranoid one?
No.
Is that it then?
What?
I thought you were going to make some announcement.
Well, I was going to say happy birthday, Rachel. I hope you have a brilliant day, my dear, and... you know, just watch the darker side of life. It's the only thing I experienced with old MG here.
And let's hope you don't have to wait another 5 months for 3 points again coming from Aston Villa.
I told you about the women who skip meals, right? The drunker exes. The other one is 1 in 5 people over 50 risk damaging their health through excessive drinking, according to a report that shows that older people are now being driven to drink by retirement and personal setbacks in their lives.
I'm sure that's true.
Are you having any personal setbacks in your 50s?
No, not particularly.
Really?
No. What's that for?
You may have a few to come.
Really? What's that ridiculous noise you're making?
I can see your future.
Can you?
Really? Oh, yes.
Right. And what do you see?
I see nothing but darkness for you.
Really? All right. Okay. Yeah, well. He suddenly turned into Dr. Evil. This is talkSPORT.